Hello there, math learners. Welcome to my video. In this video is for senior high school grade 11 statistics and probability. This was prepared by yours truly. So without further ado, let's start. Lesson 1, Exploring Random Variables. So let's have our lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to first, illustrate a random variable. Second, find the possible values of a random variable. And third, classify random variables as discrete or continuous. Let's explore. What is random variable? A random variable is a mathematical representation of a variable whose possible values are determined by chance events. It's a function that assigns numerical values to outcomes of a random experiment. Meaning, in order for us to get the possible values of the random variable, it will be based from the random experiment, and we will assign a values of our outcomes, or the sample space. The examples of random variable are tossing 3 coins, rolling a die and tossing a coin simultaneously, and drawing a spade from a deck of cards. Let's have our example number 1. Suppose 3 cell phones are tested at random. Let x be the random variable representing the number of defective cell phone that will occur. Find the values of the random variable x. So here, on our example number 1, our given cell phones that we have is 3. Okay? And these 3 cell phones are being tested at random. So our random variable x here is the number of defective cell phone that will appear or that will occur. So I will assign a letter for defective and non-defective. So D for defective and N for non-defective. So let's say I have here a cell phone. Either this cell phone, we will test this cell phone 3 times, okay? Since we have 3 cell phones in our problem. So again, either this cell phone is defective or none. So this would be our first test. For the second test, either defective or none, defective or none. And for our third test or last test, defective or none, defective or none, defective or none, defective or none. Okay, so we will stop here since we have only 3 cell phones, so we need only to test our cell phone 3 times. Okay, so what just I did is an experiment. So from this experiment, we can get a value or values. Okay, so these values are also called a sample space. So we will get our sample space or the possible outcomes from the experiment. So our first outcome, we will just follow the arrow. Okay, we will just follow the arrows. Okay, first outcome we have D, D, D. Okay, so our first outcome is D, D, D. Second outcome we have D, D, and N. So second outcome we have D, D, N. Third outcome we have D, N, and D. We have D, N, D. Fourth outcome we have D, N, and N. So fourth outcome we have D and N. And for our fifth outcome, just follow N, D, D. N, D, D. Next outcome we have N, D, N. Next outcome we have N, D. And for our last outcome, we have n, n, n. Okay, so from here, from our sample space, how many sample space that we have or values that we have a total of 8 outcomes. Okay, so from here, we can now create a table. So I have here a table. So on the first column, we have here the possible outcomes or the sample space that we got from the experiment. And second column, we have here the random variable x or the defective cell phones. So on our first column, we will just put our answer in the sample space to the first column. So we have DDD, DDN, DND, DNN, NDD, NDN, and NND, and NNN. Okay, to get the answer from the second column or the random variable x, which is the defective cell phone, from our possible outcomes, we will just count the number of the defective cell phone. Again, we will just count the number of defective cell phones in each outcomes. So for first outcome, we have how many defective? We have 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 defective cell phones. For the second outcome, we have 2 defective cell phones. Third outcome, we have 2 defective cell phones. Fourth, we have 1 defective cell phones. Next outcome, we have 2 defective cell phones. Next outcome, we have NDN, we have 1 defective cell phones. And for next outcome, we have 1 defective cell phone. And for our last outcome, we have 0 defective cell phone. Okay? So, these are the values of our defective cell phone or the random variable x. So, from here, we can simplify our random variable x. So, we have the possible values of the random variable x are 0, 1, 2, and 3. So, try to look at, we simplified the values of our random variable x. So, try to look at the values. We have repeated values. So, in mathematics, if we have repeated values, just like this one, we have 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. We only write it as 1. Okay? So, in symbol, we have x equals to 0, 1, 2, and 3. Let's have example number 2. Let t be a random variable giving the number of heads plus the number of tails and 3 tosses of a coin. List the elements of the sample space S for the 3 tosses of the coin and assign a value to each sample point. So here, in our example number 2, our given data here is we have 3 coins that are being tossed. And we have the random variable t is the number of heads and the number of tails. Take note that we need to plus the number of heads and the number of tails. Okay, so for this problem, I will assign t for tail and h for head. So let's say I have a coin here. Again, we will test this coin in 3 tosses. Okay, so either this coin, a tail, or a head. First try or first toss. For the second toss, again, either it's a tail or head, it's a tail or head. And for the last toss or for the last test, either it's a tail or head, tail or head, tail or head, tail or head. Okay, so again, what I just did is an experiment. Okay, so from our experiment, we can now have our sample space S. Okay, So the values of our sample space S, first outcome would be, again, we will just follow the arrows starting with T, T, T. So our first outcome is 3 T, 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 meaning the 3 coins are tails. Second outcome would be T, T, H. Second outcome, we have T, T, H. Third outcome would be T, H, T. And then fourth outcome, we have T, H, H. Okay, next outcome, we have, again, just follow the arrows. We have H, T, T. So we have H, T, T. Next outcome, we have H, T, and H. Next outcome would be H, H, and T. And for our last outcome, we have H, H, and H. Okay, so a total of 8 values or 8 outcomes. So from here, we can now create our table. So again, our first table is the possible outcomes followed by the random variable T. So what is our random variable T? It's the tail plus the number of head. Okay, so again, our possible outcomes, just get our answer from the sample space. So we have TTT, TTH, THT, THH, HTT, HTH, HHT, HHH. Okay, to get the values on the second column for our random variable T, first, let's count our number of tail and we will add it to the number of head. So on our first outcome, we have 3 tail. We have 3 tails plus how many head or heads? We have 0 head. So meaning 3 for tails and 0 for head. So meaning 3 plus 0, we have 3. Next outcome, we have 2 tails plus 1 head, and that is 3. Next, 2 tails plus 1 head equals 3. 1 head plus 2, 1 tail rather plus 2 heads equals 3. 2 tails plus 1 head equals 3. 1 tail plus 2 heads equals 3. 1 tail plus 2 heads equals 3. And then 0 tail plus 3 heads equals 3. So as you can see, diba? As you can see, we added the number of tails and the number of heads, and we have a common results or a common values. Okay, and that is 3. So if we simplify the random variable T, so we have the possible values of the random variable T is only 3, or in symbol, T equals 3. Now let's have example number 3. 2 balls are drawn in succession without replacement from an urn containing 5 red balls and 6 blue balls. Let Z be the random variable representing the number of blue balls. Find the values of the random variable Z. So for this example number 3, we have a given data of 2 balls that is red and blue. And our random variable Z, it's the number of blue balls, okay, that will appear. So here for this example, I will assign R for red ball and B for blue ball. So let's say I have here a ball. Either this ball, we will test this ball twice because we have 2 balls. Okay, so for the first test, either this ball is red or blue. Okay, red or blue. For the second test, either red or blue, red or blue. Okay, so we'll stop here because we only have two balls. Again, first test we have R and B, red or blue. Second test we have red and blue, red and blue. So for this experiment, we can now have our sample space S. Okay, so our first outcome from our experiment, again, just follow the arrows. So we have R and R. So first R or red, red. Second outcome would be red and blue. So we have red and blue. Third outcome would be blue and red. Blue and red. And for the last outcome, we have B, or we have both blue. Okay, so how many sample space that we have? We have 4 values or outcomes. So from here, we can create our table. Again, first column, we have the possible outcomes followed by the random variable z. Our random variable z is the number of blue balls. So for our first column, the possible outcomes, we will just put our sample space inside this table. So we have first outcome, we have RR, RB. Third outcome, we have BR. And for fourth outcome, we have BB. So to get our answer for the second column of the random variable z, we will just again count the number of blue balls. For the first outcome, as you can see, we have no blue balls, so meaning it's 0. Second outcome, we have 1 blue. Third outcome, we have also 1 blue. And for the fourth outcome, we have 2 blue balls. So from here, this would be our values of the random variable z, which is the blue balls. So we can simplify this one. The possible values of the random variable z is 0, 1, and 2. In symbols, z equals 0, 1, and 2. Now, let's discuss the types of random variables. So we have 2 types of random variables. First, a random variable is discrete random variable if its set of possible outcomes are countable. Mostly discrete random variable represent count data. So again, just remember when we say discrete random variable, the set of possible outcomes are countable. So it represents count data. Okay, so the example of that is we have the number of defective chairs produced in a factory. So diba, we can count the defective chairs that are being produced in the factory. Next, we have the number of correct answers on a 100 question multiple choice exam. Let's say out of 100 question, you have only 60 correct answers. So diba, we can count the correct answer. Again, for discrete random variable, all the possible outcomes are countable. So nabibilang natin. So for the second type of the random variable is a continuous random variable. So when we say continuous random variable, it takes on values on a continuous scale. Often, continuous random variables represent measured data. So, nami-measure dapat yung data dito. So, meaning, if the discrete is countable yung mga outcomes, for continuous, the outcomes here are not countable. Examples: computers travel minutes to work. So we can count, diba? So next, we have the amount of sugar in a cup of coffee. So again, we cannot count of the amount of sugar in a cup of coffee. Okay, so I hope you get the difference of the two types of the random variables. Again, when we say discrete, it is count data, and when we say continuous, it is represent measured data. Now, let's try to classify the following random variables as discrete or continuous. So letter A, the weight of newborns each year in a hospital. So when we talk about weight, height, temperature, or it talks about time, meaning it is continuous. For letter B, we have the speed of a car. So we cannot count the speed of the car, right? So it is continuous. For letter C, the number of deaths per day at Sulu Sanitarium Hospital. So definitely we can count the number of deaths at the hospital. So therefore it is discrete. For letter D, the average amount of electricity consumed per household per month. So it is continuous because we cannot count the amount of electricity that was consumed per household per month. And for letter E, the number of siblings in a family of our region. So the number of siblings, so we can count them. So therefore it is discrete. So again, when we say discrete, it is count data, and when we say continuous, it is it represents measured data. Okay, this time I want you to test yourself of what you have just learned recently. I have prepared here 2 items, and if you are done answering this, you can comment your answers in the comment section. Also, you can comment of what lesson or topic to be discussed on the next video. This is Professor AVO, unlocking your math potential.